In this video, we are going to be going over all the secrets inside of my new build. If you've seen this truck before, it was Pink Lemonade, and now it is Pink Lemonade V2. Really original name, I know. So sit back and relax, enjoy. This is Casey's Cozy Garage.
Smile at me, I don't know what you are going through, but hold on to me, I'm waiting here because I fear for you.
So let's get some things out of the way. First of all, like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. The fan base has been really fun to interact with and all of that stuff. And we have started a new channel called NerdRC. So go subscribe to that channel where you'll get content specifically about the team, NerdRC, and the guys behind it that make it all possible. So now that that's out of the way, let's get on to the juicy secrets of Pink Lemonade. Now for some context, Pink Lemonade is an newer build that I have done. I originally completed it last summer and it was built on a 3D printed chassis that my friend Josh from NerdRC designed. It was the ultimate prototype. I mean, this thing was a little bit sketchy. I'm surprised it didn't crack in half, but it taught us a lot about what makes a good geometry. I ended up taking that exact truck, and if you have seen that video, go check it out, and I won kind of our local area's like summer tournament championship thing in class 2 and class 3 with it, and it was just the prototype. Now we have the full retail release of the NerdRC Gizmo chassis, and Pink Lemonade got a juicy upgrade to it. The body may be the same, but there's a lot to it. So let's get into this build. So any good build starts with tires, and I will do a video just about tires, but I think tires are the most important upgrade to your mini crawler. You can make some straight up garbage crawl pretty good if you have a good set of tires. So the tires here are the RC4WD Scramblers. I don't know how big they are off the top of my head, and I don't know if I'll tell you, but just look it up. These tires are excellent. They're really good on both sandy, rocky-ish terrain and dry terrain as well. Dry, sandy, that made a lot of sense. And dusty and not dusty terrain, that made more sense. These are my favorite tires. Years ago, someone recommended these tires to me, and I fell in love. These tires would make anything crawl pretty okay, pretty good. They don't come with amazing foams. The wheels holding those tires on, they are the 1552 wheels by Little Guy Racing Parts in bronze. In the bronze color. I think they're aluminum wheels with brass rings. Here's my secret, right? I take these little lead weights. Oh wait, I might have some. These little lead weights from Hangar 9, or you can get them from like any tire shop ever. You can cut them with scissors to the width of the beadlock ring, and on the front, I have those extra lead weights around the beadlock ring. The downside is I can't run any fancy foams on the front, or like, you know, the fancy silicone inserts, but I can get my weight distribution just how I like it. And you know, if the tire flexes a little bit under the truck while it drives, I have enough talent to drive around that, or so I hope. But yeah, those are the wheels. They got these cool like little hubcaps too. Didn't need those, but they look super sick, so that's really cool. So the wheels are going on to the next part of the build, and those are the axles. You need a good set of axles, and these are the ones I chose. I chose the Meus Isokinetic Axles. These axles are fantastic, especially for the price. Are there better axles out there? I think so, but for the price, these are my favorite axles, especially because you have that like that fancy joint underneath there. I'm sure Josh will tell me in the comments what that joint's called, but that joint is a lot stronger than the dog bone that comes on the stock Axial SCX24 front axle. So these axles are a little bit wider as well. And then I'm running the wheels in low offset. So I'm not running any spacers. And so that allows me to try to get the rotation point of these tires as close to the axle as possible, minimizing my scrub radius, kind of like making sure we don't upset the truck while we're turning. And there's a lot of good benefits to that in tighter packaging and whatnot, and less stress on the axle out shafts and stuff. And yes, I have broken axle out shafts. That's how much I play with or drive my RC. I don't play with RC cars, I drive them. This isn't a hobby, it's a way of life. I go to work as a hobby. I do that on the side to pay for this. These axles come with a overdrive underdrive set. I just slapped that in there. So we're running about 14% overdrive than the rear, or 14% underdrive, and whichever one. It's 14% difference. The front spins a little bit faster. So the last thing that we can really tell from the outside without taking the body off is we are running some very special links by NerdRC. Check out nerdrc.com. Josh has got some really cool stuff cooking up in there. But these are really neat. So we have brass links that are like triple stacked in the front, and then we have titanium high clearance links in the rear. And that is especially cool because the high clearance links have to go up and around, so you can not get stuck on rocks and like high centered on rocks just as easily. But since they're titanium, they're a lot lighter and they're really stiff for the size, right? So you can, all that weight of the links going upwards isn't like pushed further in the center of gravity. And we have straight links on the front because there's almost no point in having high clearance links in the front. We like straight links in the front because it keeps you from getting stuck on your skid right here. When you're going over sharp rocks. And usually it's kind of a problem like behind the skid here. So yeah, so we got these special brass links in the front and titanium ones in the rear. Helps out with the weight distribution and stuff. I don't know the numbers on this one. So yeah, I don't know. It's not 50-50, I can tell you that. Look at that. We could put our finger like at the beginning of the front links and it'll still, yeah, that's, yeah. Now we're gonna get underneath this beautiful Pro Line body that I painted. And if you saw the first 2 episodes on Pink Lemonade, yeah, you know what this looks like. You know what this is. It's awesome. But underneath here, we have the new NerdRC Gremlin with Class 2 chassis. This thing is sweet. Yeah, this thing is really good. It is a chassis that me and Josh from NerdRC worked on for a long time, getting the chassis right. So with this and the gizmo is really popular. We spent a lot of time making sure it's good. It's good stuff. It's absolutely mustard. If there was anything that bothered us about a particular design, and to be honest, there were lots of things that bothered us of the original prototypes. We made sure to fix it. We made sure to do ourselves right, and then so we can eventually share it with all of you. But anyway, the Gremlin is a angled skid chassis, just like that. And it's very, it's both aggressive and not. So, you know, think of the Maz Designs cheat code and really aggressive chassis like that. This is just different than that. I know, scientific stuff, you heard it right here. There are several front link options on nerdrc.com's website and stuff. If you run the links that I ran, which I think are the C10 fronts. If you run those, then you can run a motor, a forward-facing motor. And so that motor is the Mofo, oh shoot, what is this? This is the Mofo NanoBam. I don't know which one it is. on a Mofo transmission mount, it fits so good. Look at that clearance right there. It fits really well. I really like the look of Mofo RC stuff. I personally cannot vouch for all of Mofo RC stuff. Like, I've had some bad stuff, but this motor, this transmission, excellent. Never had a problem with it. It's really awesome. We're running the FuryTech Lizard. We're running a Futaba micro mini receiver, like a really small one, so I can use my Futaba TP4M. there's a lot of remembering little names when it comes to this hobby, right? And then we're running some 2S battery I got off of Amazon that I hope won't burn my house down. Oh yeah, and then we got these cool shocks by Injora. These shocks are great for the price. Are they as good as Proline big bores? I don't know. My friend seems to think no, but hey, I've got them to work. They're good. They're 39 millimeters at both ends. So I personally like to run no more flex than this because I feel like driving a really high flex truck is really difficult. It's just a little bit easier to drive a low flex truck and then get your balance correct, in my opinion. And then we're running the 3Flow 9 Torrent Micro Mini whatever a servo. Yeah, good servo. This company is also owned by a friend of mine, so go check them out. I have a lot of parts from them. Yeah, with some, you know, Injora drive shafts and stuff. And yeah, that's basically it to the build. I have a few tricks up my sleeve for this build though. The first of which is I'm running a interesting caster on this truck. So usually on everyone's builds, it's really sexy to run caster that's like this far back. On a road car, the caster will give you like a centering feel as you're driving down the highway. Well, guess what? This doesn't need to drive down the highway. So we're gonna do something a little different, right? I have actually castered the wheels the opposite way with the extra adjustable link mounting positions on the NerdRC chassis. The reason I have done this is because the wheels now turn on a pivot like this, right? So my thinking was, as I'm climbing a hill and I'm getting to the top of it, now the wheels are turning on an axis perpendicular to the ground like they would on a normal car on a flat road, right? So that actually gives me more influence on which way the truck turns, because it's not like the tire isn't leaning sideways as you're trying to turn it. It's actually turning still. If that makes any sense, yeah. I'm the best mansplainer, That's one little secret I've decided to try on this truck. I like the castered back look because it just looks good, but I was thinking to myself, wait, I think there's actually more performance to be had on this like microcrawler if we just caster it forward and then we lean the tire less at certain angles. And it looks a little funny, I must admit. Like, if you see this truck in person, like, you know, it's not as sexy, I guess, sitting on the ground. But once you're climbing up like that, it's pretty good. If you're watching this video and have also seen 24Up's video on the NerdRC Gizmo that my friend sent in, he was wondering why the hell are we running sliders this big? And in class 2, which is what this truck is built for, we do not need to run sliders this big. But I've gotten used to driving with them. I think they're great. One of the things that we were thinking about, especially since most of our trucks are overdriven in the front, the rear sometimes has a hard time keeping up when you get like a big ass rock like right here, right? So the thinking behind that, and I've seen it work on many hard lines that I've driven with this, the thinking is that if we line up the skid right here with the high clearance links, that's all you need. And if a rock needs to go any further, we'll just pick the truck up and slide on that, and then we won't get the truck stuck on the rear. So yeah, I want to start spreading the word of having of accepting sliders more in kind of the extreme class 2. I think sliders are great. I was a doubter of them, but now I run the sliders. So thanks, Josh. Yeah, other than that, this thing rips lines, as you can see from the B-roll that has been playing in this video. So, you know, yeah, that's all I got. So the next episode, we're gonna go over the next truck that we're gonna be running next year. I've gotten so many requests to do a build overview of this truck. I feel like I already have, but hey, if people want to see it in a more organized or disorganized way, I will talk about the build here in the studio, and we'll get to look at this truck as well. And then the episode after that, we'll just quickly talk about this truck as well. So, you know, I've been Casey from Casey's Cozy Garage. Remember to like and subscribe. It has been an incredible year getting to make content for the community. And yeah, I've tried to respond to as many comments as possible and have really enjoyed making videos. So yeah, thank you very much. Stay safe, drink some water. Water's good for you, and I hope that you have a good day.